Just few minutes for markets to close. Let's head across to Neeraj to find out how exactly today the closing is panning out. And Neeraj, what a start to this expiry and truncated week.
And what a change from what we were talking about on Friday, Navneet. A complete turnaround of sorts. I'm sure the mid caps and the small caps too would have bounced back, but the Nifty Bank, the key mover, not as strong the small caps compared to the mid caps and the large caps. But the Nifty Bank, the predominant reason why we've done what we've done, 2.5%. And I think if you just bring up the list of gainers and losers, you'll see, I mean, okay, very few losers, keep that in mind. But look at the gainers list, all about banks and financials. Yes Bank, SBI, HDFC Bank, HDFC, ICICI Bank. That's the clutch of names that is doing well. Then you have this cluster of auto names which have done okay for themselves, but rate sensitives by and large seem to have done well. Reliance is muted, ITC is muted, but when you have the HDFC twins gaining 2 percentage points, you know that you are in for a good sway, and that's completely masking the disappointments out of what's happening with Sensex IT or Nifty IT, Wipro, Infi TCS. All of these have looked wobbly in the session, but that has not mattered. We've had a very strong move. 2.5% for the Nifty Bank, the Nifty celebrating that. Maybe the small caps haven't done well, Navneet, but enough and more brisk activity within the non-Nifty names any which ways.
Neeraj, there were some pockets which saw a good amount of buying in today's session. Let me start off with a stock like KCP Limited. It is a company which is into cement as well as sugar, so quite a diversified company. That's closing the day with gains of nearly 12 to 13%. The media pack, that rose in the last hour of trade, and you had Den Networks that gained nearly 16 to 17% at one point of time, and the closing also of Den Networks is coming at a higher price. Network 18 was the other one which saw a good amount of buying in today's trade, and Hathway too from the media pack surged in today's session. Mirza International, this stock went up in the last half an hour. Remember, this is a footwear company. Bata was quite active right from the word go in the morning, so Mirza too went up on good amount of volumes in today's session. And what a day it has been for the entire banking pack, and especially the PSU banking index, which was up nearly 4%. So stocks like Canara Bank, that was also one of the top F&O gainers for the day. And you also had Bank of Baroda, which rose nearly 6% in trade. Lifetime highs for consumption stocks like Jubilant Foodworks and also Titan, a company which did not succumb to selling pressure at all throughout last week when the market was weak. Both these stocks hitting their lifetime highs in today's session, whereas on the flip side, stocks like Unichem Laboratories was weak right from the word go. That counter tumbled nearly 10 to 11%. And the other one which fell in today's session was IMFA, which is Indian Metal Ferroalloys. That too came under pressure. It saw cuts of nearly 7 to 8%.
Yeah, but all in all, a great day of trade. You can't complain. 35 seconds left for markets to close, and you would see the Nifty heat map. We won't see too many changes. Actually, the heat map should be up on the screen. You won't see too many changes really when it comes to the constituents. The banks will stay out there as amongst the top gainers. Maybe we'll have one more stock in the losers list, move on to the green. But it's all about the banks and financials. Well, to an extent, even media as well. While we were talking about banks because they're the heavyweights, media certainly has participated in a meaningful way today. I don't know what's with it, but Hathway, then Network 18, Z, almost everything seems to be doing really, really well in trade. And this is the picture at close. The markets have stopped trading and a fair bit of green on the screen. This is something that almost all bulls would have accepted with both hands at the end of last week for sure. Two or three things. One, the contributors list, and I think the HDFC twins will be right up there. Maybe giving company would be State Bank of India and ICICI Bank. So it's financials all the way on the gaining side. A losing side, couple of names in IT space, Wipro and Infosys, but nothing too much, not too much of damage. Barely scratched the surface, to be honest. And then the market breadth, which will not look as robust as what the Nifty Bank performance is. So in fact, we tried to converge a bit, but in the end ended still in favor of the decline. So the market breadth does not look very convincing. But the turnover picture, and that is where, well, we did pick up, Navneet, even on the cash side.
Yeah.
I think that's brisk trading, almost 3,000 crores in the last 20 minutes.
Last 20 minutes of trade. And as you highlighted, Neeraj, 15 to 20 minutes back, the BSE turnover has been pretty much on the higher side. Usually on average turnover from Bombay Stock Exchange on the cash side is nearly 3.5 to 4,000 crore. Maximum we see on the upside is 5,000 or something.
Yeah, FNO you would presume in line because of the expiry week.
Yeah, but I'll still call it's the first day, but maybe it is a truncated week and that's why the trading activity heightened. So usually in the expiry week, you tend to see the turnover going up. So almost 9.3 lakh crore is, that's suggesting that the trading activity 2 days before the expiry has gone up.
Yeah, so good participation all round, you would reckon, even on the cash market side, and enough and more gainers to talk about. Let's get in final thoughts from our experts then. Sumit, how does this set us up for what will happen during the course of the remainder of the week, which is, well, but only 2 days, but how does this set us up for that?
A very strong up move we have seen today. The Nifty was almost up by 130 points and the closing is pretty good. Looking at the chart, it seems that we can see action rate move till 10,150, 10,200 levels. Starting at the starting of the show, we mentioned that we are expecting Nifty to move till 10,140, 10,200 levels in next 1 or 2 days time horizon. Now, looking at the today's closing, it seems that in next 1 or 2 days we can see levels of around 10,200. And closing is very good. So I think those who have taken positions at low levels, they can hold on the existing positions. And tomorrow, if we get any retracement of around 20 to 30 points from present levels, then that can be used as a buying opportunity for the upside target of 10,200 levels in next 1 or 2 days time horizon.
I mean, there was writing which came in for 10,100 put strike as well. Do you think the expiry can happen above that now?
I think so, Navneet, because maybe there could be a small flip-flop, but I think makes sense. I think we should be probably expiring somewhere close to 10,180 or 10,200. I don't see too much of an upside below about 10,250 this week, but yeah, I think
that's the resistance mark for the week.
Yeah.
There's one small query, Hemant, that has come in on future enterprises. We haven't discussed the future group stocks today, but if you can just pull out that stock and tell us if you have any chart reading there. The stock is down 4.5% today.
We've been corrective for the last 7 months. Downside appears limited, hasn't yet bottomed out. Positive divergence, recent bottom of 33.5. That should hold. For this thing to turn positive at all, we need a closing above 43. I'd say we're in the last legs of the correction. I wouldn't expect too much of a downside below 33.5. If 33 breaks in terms of closing, I think that's a bad sign. I think we should stabilize around here, and if this level holds, that will be the first positive step indicating a possible rebound.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Hemant, as well as Sumit Bagaria, for joining in today and giving us your thoughts. Much appreciate your time.